Welcome back to the channel, guys, and here we have a second chart of Bitcoin, but we had a nice price action over kind of a lame weekend. I thought we were going to see more news on Friday, but I guess no news is good news. But the only thing that really came out was the SEC said they were not going to appeal, and the SEC refused to comment to any of the media, and so did Grayscale, which in theory, if something was going to happen, they're not going to talk to media, so anybody front runs trades. So let's go to, not so much the second chart. The second chart's just fun to watch. Go to an hour chart. So earlier today, Cointelegraph put out that there was, BlackRock approved their ETF. And for anyone saying that the ETF is priced in, well, we had a 8 to 10%, depending on what exchange you're looking at, 8 to 10% move based upon fake news. So with that, I'm not saying the SEC could see this as manipulation, but I mean, 8% move is an 8% move, along with $65 million in Bitcoin liquidated. So just looking at that volume chart is, that volume right there is just ridiculous. But at least we're holding above $28,000 right now, so I'll take the one where I can. I was asleep when this happened. So with this, although nothing has been fully approved yet, Cathie Wood's new Bitcoin ETF signals a coming approval. This right here, we believe there is a 90% chance of approval by January 10th. So January 10th is the deadline for Arkk's spot ETF. So between now and then, anything is possible. But as everyone's generally concluded, we'll probably see all the spot ETFs approved all at once, or a majority of them, because they don't want to give anyone a competitive advantage. So right now, with the SEC and Grayscale, I'm pretty sure they're going to be working out framework for how they're going to execute this. Grayscale is still in a better position, already owning 650,000 Bitcoin. So all these other companies, BlackRock, Fidelity, WisdomTree, Arkk, they all have to put in their balance sheet all the Bitcoin. So that will still cascade the demand and the supply drop, which, basic economics will drive the price up. So an article released today, 16th, the SEC Chair Gary Gensler staying in the way of Bitcoin's ETF, says Cathie Wood. So what's unique about Cathie Wood is this is just, the first one to hit the deadline. But this comment right here is, the SEC knows so much and they're so good that I believe this was much more Gary Gensler standing in the way. Well, I'm pretty sure we do. I mean, I don't understand why, though. Unless there's an ulterior motive. There's so many conspiracies between SBF and Gary Gensler and price suppressing, unless they're stacking their sats too. So I don't know for sure, because they could never say something like that. I just know from how we discuss Bitcoin with them, they really understand it, and they understand the merits and its most importantly. Ugh. So they understand it, but they're still declining it. I mean, is he concerned that if this is approved, that's going to crash the US dollar? But, they approved, so not Gary Gensler, but the SEC had their gold ETF back in the early 2000s, which, gold is still a superior form of money versus, standard fiat. So there's an interview down here that was done that's very unique by someone named Natalie. Yeah. So that was a really good interview. And with that, in this other article, Bitcoin.com, she discusses the different price targets. So the bear case for 2030 is, 260,000-ish. And then the base case of 682,800, and then the bull case of 1.48. I mean, I think a lot of us have said 1 million by 2030, and that, would generally go with a stock to flow model and how we see things. I mean, right now, Plan B states that between 100,000 and a million for this cycle, but with the median case being, well, base case would be about 500,000. And that's just based upon his initial stock to flow model that he developed in 2019. I don't think the cross asset model is as good as the first one that he came up with, and that was just proven in this last cycle. So, I mean, yeah, we can look at the stock to flow model right here. You can't really move it too much. No. So right here, we got that base case line right there that we hit, and this hasn't moved like, I remember watching it right here. I'm just like, okay, this is going to happen. And then as we start front running, we'll have that go above the line about halfway through, and then right there about 65,000, we hit it and then went back down, which perfect. So right now we're aiming towards, between 575 and 625, 630-ish. So, and that's, say, we hit it, a few months before the top here. I mean, right here, probably around quarter one, quarter two of 2025. I mean, $500,000 Bitcoin, I'd be pretty stoked with that. So the next Bitcoin bull run is coming, and FOMO will reach an all-time high. I think as, not so much your older investors as BlackRock, Fidelity, and all the other ETF people get into this. I don't think the older generations will FOMO into it now that they can have it into their retirement funds, but that alone will take up a lot of capital. I mean, even a 1% capital, and people who've been invested for 20, 30 years that might have $1 to $2 million in their 401k. 1%, would just be great for, in general. They did a breakdown that if you own 1% of Bitcoin in your portfolio and balance it out, rebalance it, that it could change your yearly ROI to, from about 6.5% to 8%. So right now the Bitcoin market is mimicking what happened from 2017, which very slow run up, which, more time to accumulate, all the way down to 2020. And as we, zoom out, because sometimes you go top to top, but mid, bottom, I remember you could get Bitcoin at 3,800 and went up to 6,900. That's, 15x right there, and that was pretty amazing. I mean, even if we 15x from the bottom that we had of 15,000 would be beautiful. I don't even need 15, just, even diminishing returns works. But, this guy's saying, we'll probably hit, maybe having around 48 and then 150 and then 200, 250, which even then that's a very fair case, for what's going to go on. And in my opinion, as we, let's see, let me go to another chart here. As we go out, I still think we could see a, 2 to 3 standard deviation, which would put it right there in line, 150 right there. Base case, I think that is a good target for this next bull run. So anyways, sorry for the lame video and faceless video, and get to watch just charts and everything, but I'll be putting out more content as we go through the Bitcoin halving cycle and following the ETF news. So be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be back for more videos.